Anyway.
On to the review portion of the program.
Which one do you want to talk about first, Uncle Bill?
Oh, let's talk about Bereavement.
Bereavement.
Yeah.
This is a movie, I think Anchor Bay Entertainment did this, right? Is it Anchor Bay?
It is Anchor Bay.
Yeah, which we don't get a whole lot of Anchor Bay stuff anymore.
That probably explains a whole lot of why it's so shitty.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad, Uncle Bill. Actually, like, it starts off really well.
Yeah, it does start off better than I thought, really.
Yeah, and it's a prequel to Malevolence, which is a movie that Stevan Mena did, probably about 2004, 2005. And the guys become really good friends at with Fangoria and people like that. And they really, I think they kind of helped the movie get distributed by Anchor Bay. That one was distributed by Anchor Bay as well. And had like a cult following. But this is a prequel to that. And it looked to me like they had a massive budget compared to that first movie. Because do you remember what the first movie looked like?
Yeah.
Just a really, really low budget.
This actually looks like a movie. Like a real theatrical movie.
Dark piece of trash.
Trash.
So it's basically like a slasher movie, kind of. I mean, it's a serial killer / slasher movie.
It's got a weird premise, though, where you got this serial killer who abducts this kid at a really, really young age. And
he's got a medical issue, too.
Yeah, he can't feel any kind of, like, emotion, I guess, or
pain.
Can't
feel any pain.
Yeah. And so this guy is murdering all these women in front of this kid and, like, trying to, teach him the ways of the serial killer.
Show him the devileth ways.
Yeah. And the kid's just completely immune. I mean,
doesn't ever say
anything. It seems that way anyway, that he's completely immune to anything going on around him. Like, has no emotion about anything. And that guy starts to get really, really upset because he's all, like, crazy and wanting him to be serial killers. And that kid just, like, sits there all the time. And at the same time, there's the woman who, I'm trying to figure out her name on here, who's amazingly hot, by the way. I was like, holy shit.
The young girl, you mean?
The teenage girl. What's her real name?
Her name is?
Alexandra.
Delicious Debbie.
Alexandra Daddario. She was in Hall Pass and apparently a couple other things too. But she comes to live with Michael Biehn, who's her uncle.
Yeah, Michael Biehn actually tries to molest her. Not really. Yeah, her parents die suddenly, and she comes to live with her uncle and his family. And, the two worlds collide there. And it really just sets up the Malevolence. What happens in Malevolence? You follow the young kid is, he's the main killer of Malevolence. And it kind of explains some things. And the movie, let me say this. The movie is a gazillion times better than Malevolence was. Malevolence was one of those movies that I just couldn't fucking watch it. I had to turn it off. I couldn't get through it. This one's not great by any means. But at the same time, I could actually watch the entire movie. I didn't actually feel the need to just turn it off because it was like boring the fuck out of me.
Apparently, though, it had enough of a following that, they wanted to do a prequel to it.
Yeah, there's always a couple of those mystery films where people kind of get something out of it, but not me. I didn't enjoy Malevolence at all. But maybe some people did. I don't know.
It has a typical kind of serial killer-ish, camera style, point of view style. It's very similar to a lot of those movies that you've seen. Then that's really the problem with it to me, though, is that it really is, aside from the kid, which is a new twist, the kid that can't feel any kind of emotions or pain or anything like that, who's being kind of like mentored by the serial killer. Aside from that, like, it's like every other movie I've ever seen with that same premise.
Yeah. But I'll say this. It does look like he had the money to make this. Like, I don't know if the plan was to make this a theatrical movie at some point or what, but it did look like it could have been out in theaters. That's how good it looked. Looked like it had enough of a budget to where you could see it actually being in the big
Yeah, it looks like I said, like a theatrical film.
How do you think Michael Biehn did in it, though?
I thought he was all right. I didn't think he was that bad.
He didn't have a huge role in it, but it was decent enough. And then the killer, John Savage, I think, is who the killer. The boy was kidnapped by him. I thought he played a creepy, serial killer type.
Did you see the ending coming? I mean,
yeah. Because that's how I remember enough from the Malevolence to know that's probably what was going to happen.
I don't remember anything about Malevolence, to be honest. Like, I know I watched it, but it must be one of the movies I was just like doing something else while I was watching it.
Yeah, it's not very good at all.
But
Bereavement, I'm not going to give it thumbs up, but I think that it was an improvement over Malevolence for sure.
It's not a movie I could get excited about, though. That's the thing. Like, I mean, it doesn't. There's something about it, aside from the chick that I was talking about, who is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just like, holy shit.
You was begging to see her boobies.
You really were, because, I mean, she's got an amazing pair of boobs. But, like, aside from that, there's nothing to hold your interest, really, in this movie. I mean, you look at movies like The Strangers, the Poughkeepsie tapes that was going to come out and all that stuff.
We can't look at that movie.
Yeah, it'll never come out. But, I mean, it's the same type of, like, premise to those types of movies. And once you've seen movies like that, it's just like, I don't know. They're just boring as shit to have me, watch somebody be tortured, pick up a bunch of women and torture them and murder them and blah, fucking blah. It's like, it's been done a million times.
True that. Yeah, it doesn't really go to any new ground other than the little boy angle. But I gotta say, I didn't completely hate it like I do a lot of the movies. I thought it was okay. I think it's worth a rental to some people if it sounds like something they'd be interested in. And if you like Malevolence, hell, you might love the shit out of this.
Yeah, he'd probably blow your fucking titties off if you like Malevolence.
Like what I noticed, the people that like Malevolence that I heard from were people that lived in New York, where this guy's located, I think, and they pretty much support their hometown boys.
It says here though, it's grisly and worth the wait.
Yeah, I know Michael Gingold gave a quote on there. I won't trust his ass for nothing.
No. Also, John Fallon from Hour on the Head, too. It's what indie horror should be all about.
It is what indie horror should be all about.
Shut up. Yeah. But there you go. You got audio commentary with the writer, producer, director, Stevan Mena. The making of Bereavement. First look on the set, deleted scenes, and a theatrical trailer. All now. You can buy it right now. Buy it at Anchor Bay.
Anchor Bay. They're not releasing too much old shit, but they're releasing only indie shit.
They're going to release all this crap.
So,